It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
This is one, Brian. This is a good one because this is, I think, a lot of our folks. Well, I'll just say it. This is from Jason. Now, Jason is in a crazy spot, right? Like this is not normal. He says, I'm 23, making $300,000 per year, right? So Jason, Jason's doing really, really well.
Did he say what he does?
He did not. I'm going to assume it's something cool. Where should I be putting my extra savings after 401k, HSA, and IRAs? I want to make this question broadly applicable because maybe you're not 23 and maybe you don't make $300,000, but maybe you are higher income and maybe you and your household are higher income. And you've begun asking the question, okay, well, I did the 401ks and I did the HSAs and I did the IRAs. Does that mean that now it's time for, I have this buddy that I met at the golf course who told me about like these insurance products I can go load up. Like once I've maxed out my quote unquote retirement stuff, where should I start putting my money? Is this when I go start doing rental properties? Is this when I go start, what do I do with excess if I have excess savings that I want to be putting to work for me? Surely it has to be complicated and sophisticated and hard. What would your response to either Jason or someone in that profile I described be, Brian?
You put me in a weird situation there, Bo, because Jason's situation is a financial mutant and likely he's rapidly approaching taking the relationship to the next level. Because when you get to complexity like this is a good problem to have. But this is exactly why I tell people, because look, we have a lot of do-it-yourselfers that watch the show, and I think it's because we attract it because we love to give away tons of free information. That is the entire abundance cycle is come here, we ask nothing of you, learn, apply, grow. But here's the dirty little secret, and I share this with you guys, is that I know that success creates complexity.
Every time.
And Jason is a perfect example of this, is somebody who starts having success. You're trying to figure out, what do I do in my situation? Because this is not something that's super easy to say, what do I do with it? Now, look, a good head start for anyone. Financial order of operations.
Love it.
Go to moneyguy.com/resources. You can get the free deliverable. Now, if you want a deeper dive.
Say Jason may need to go learn.
Yeah, I go to learn.moneyguy.com if you actually want to go accelerate your path to that abundance cycle by using our full course, because it then gets in the weeds on all the details. But somebody who's making $300,000 at such a young age, you're going to blow through and get the hyperaccumulation very quickly.
Pretty quickly.
And this is when, because you're going to blow through all your retirement opportunities. You're going to have your cash reserves. You're going to say, what do I do? And that's where we always talk about the three bucket strategy.
Yep.
And you're going to probably end up with a brokerage account where you're investing monthly in that after-tax account as well. But then that's going to lead to step number 8. Because, Bo, you threw out some carrots there. It's like, hey, is this when I'm supposed to do real estate? Because that is, I think once you get to step 8 of the financial order of operations, I don't mind if you're going out there and doing rental property and things like that. And by the way, you said something about insurance sales, and we pick on insurance sales pretty hard. But this is one that, if you looked in the suitability brochure of when people are supposed to buy insurance products. Now, I think we've talked about 90+% of people who buy these annuities and other things, they're sold these products. But there is, in the case study of a high-income person that wants to shelter and get tax-deferred growth on this, it is supposed to be somebody in this type of situation that's investing in that annuity, because it would be able to be invested and grow just like a retirement vehicle. And since Jason's already loaded up all of his retirement vehicles, this would act in the same way. I'm not going to tell you that's what he should do, because I think that's where a financial advisor and having those discussions to figure out in his specific situation. But it just gets complicated. And I know I threw a bunch of variables in there, but I think that Jason's in a great situation that I would just want to make sure that if I had that type of money coming in, that I was doing a good, responsible job with the assets that were coming into my control.
I thought you were very nice. I'm not gonna be unkind, but I'm gonna say what I'm really thinking here. Is that okay? You give me permission to do that?
Go ahead.
I think it's awesome. But someone who's 23, I'm just going to go out on a limb, unless you started making money like really early on. Maybe you're an entertainer, or you're a programmer or a gamer or something. But if this is I imagine you've been making this for a short amount of time, you haven't had a ton of time to save. You haven't had a ton of time to build up. So
that's true.
While you may have a huge income and while you may have a huge savings rate, I'd be curious to know, what's your net worth statement look like? Because one of the things that I see young people that have very high incomes do is they just get things out of whack. Yeah, they do okay, I'm gonna save 25% because I watched Brian and Bo and I know that's what I'm supposed to do. But my immediate next step is I gotta go do something complicated. I gotta go buy rental properties. I gotta go buy a commercial property. I gotta go fill in the blank. I think there's nothing wrong with opening a plain vanilla brokerage account and just saving after-tax dollars. You made the point, Brian, that there are insurance products that will allow you to defer growth. But I'd even say that's a unique thing. I think what you should be thinking about is, how do I build my foundation? How do I build the layer of assets that's just going to be the supercharger for my long-term financial well-being? And once I do that, once my net worth starts hitting $500, $700, $1 million, $1.5 million, then I can look at some of the periphery. Then I can look at some of that other stuff. I think early on, it can be very, very simple. Follow the financial order of operations, open an after-tax brokerage account, and just start dollar cost averaging into some really low-cost index funds or low-cost target retirement index fund, and let your base build up so that when you do that next thing, whether it's the insurance thing or whether it's rental properties or whether it's business investments or whatever, you have a foundation in place that's already working for you.
You saying that based on his age, he probably wasn't, hadn't made this money for that long. Made me think. My wife and I last night, she was showing me on Instagram, there was a 6-year-old little girl that could do hip hop, ballroom, like she was doing the tango ballroom. And I was like, maybe Jason.
He's a dancer.
Maybe he's like, what's Dare Cuff? Maybe he's been doing Instagram videos since, for the last 6 or 7 years and has already blown through the financial order of operations. It's possible.
Jason, if that's you, I'd love for you to reach out to us at aboundwealth.com. We'd love to talk with you about how you can take the relationship to the next level. Or if you don't want to do that, we're happy to send you a tumbler for a great question.